welcome. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 qualifiers. We are in Iran, and it's an Asian qualifier for the World Cup, Group F, between Iran and Australia. Here is the Group F action in this window. You see Iran lost already at home to Japan by 10. Meanwhile, Australia, very convincing winners against Kazakhstan. Also, the Philippines won their game. And now today, all of these teams are in action again. And it has really set it up for a very interesting last day. Iran against Australia, Kazakhstan at home, the Philippines, and Qatar taking on Japan. The battle, really for Australia, they're already in the World Cup. They've been qualified for a while, but Iran have made very hard work of it. And they, to be 100% certain of getting in, they need to win today. They can still lose and qualify, but you know, they would rather, if they want to control their own destiny, go ahead and take care of business against this Australia team. That's going to be easier said than done. This Australian team revealed themselves the other day to be tough customers, and obviously Australian basketball is now among the best in the world, not only with their national teams, but their National Basketball League. They've got a lot of continuity. So Iran have got their work cut out for them today, and their fans are going to be right behind them. You can hear them already trying to fire up this team. Remember, it's a rematch. These teams met actually in the final of the FIBA Asia Cup 2017, or shall I say these two countries. There were some other players involved that aren't here at this one, but nevertheless, it's Australia and Iran once again in a real big game. Australia winning the first game between these two teams earlier in the second round, and despite being a road game, I think they have to start as favorites. So the players are out on the court, and we are going to have a pause in the commentary for the playing of the national anthem. Okay, the national anthems have been played, and the players greet each other mid-court as well as the coaches. And we're going to get a look at the referees shortly, as well as the rosters for both of these teams and the starting fives. And here are the gentlemen who will be calling the action today. Rabah Nujaim, Yu Jong, and Ahmad Al-Shuwaili. So, a good refereeing crew for this vital game. You know, remember, Iran, they'll qualify if they win this game for the World Cup, or they'll qualify if Japan beat Qatar, or the Philippines lose to Kazakhstan. That's basically what it boils down to. They can either finish in third place, or they could finish as the best fourth place team in the groups. Australia, Isaac Humphries, boy, he's come really far really fast, hasn't he? Remembering him from his under-17 World Cup days in Dubai. What a terrific player. Lucas Walker, Harry Froling, another of those youngsters that's made it all the way up, as well as Tom Wilson. I can't be any more excited to watch an Australian Boomers team than this one, seeing these young kids coming up and getting their big chance. Emmett Nar, Mangok Matang, and Jared Weeks also in the starting five. And for Iran, Mehsan Mirzai, Sajad Mashayeki is playing, Hamed Hosseinzadeh. So Mashieki's return is big. Benim Yakchali, Ruzbe Arghavan, Jamshidi, number 13. Keep an eye on him. Hosseinzadeh, number 77. All of these guys will be big contributors today. Jamshidi, Mirzai, Mashayeki, Hosseinzadeh, and Benim Yakchali in that starting five. Well, this Australia team having taken care of business. They've only lost once in the World Cup qualifiers. That was at Japan, and it was a tight game. They've, really been one of the most impressive teams, most impressive outfits. Adam Capehorn has been given the steering wheel for this team today. And, of course, he's coached Australia's youth teams. In fact, so he's been one of the assistants anyway to Andre Lamanis. And this will be a nice opportunity for him today. Mehran Shahintop, coach of Australia. Of course, in the last window, we were so impressed by the job that he did leading Iran to victory at the Philippines. But the other day, in their first game in this window, Iran went up against a very hot Japanese team and came out on the losing end. Mitch Creek is back for this window. Of course, he's playing overseas now in North America. Going back and forth with the Brooklyn Nets and the G League team. But he's made it for this window, which is great. And I think a lot of people are down under hoping that Mitch Creek makes that Australia team that competes at the World Cup. Sorry, folks, about the delay. Not sure what the holdup is here, but hopefully this thing will get going pretty quickly. So Mangkok Matiang at the jump center circle with Mehsan Mirzai. Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, folks. Welcome to Iran here. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asia qualifier, the last one for both of these teams. Australia in the gold and taking on this Iranian team wearing the red today. Tom Wilson takes it up the floor. Gets it into Mangkok Matiang. And he is going to get down low, but he loses it. Fumbles it into the hands of Mashieki. Remember, Iran trying to qualify for the World Cup. Australia have long since done this. Mashieki. Iran could still qualify for the World Cup even if they don't win this game. If they win it, they're definitely going to China later this year with the tournament tipping off on August 31st. But they could lose today, and if Japan beat Kazakhstan, if Japan win their game, there's a turnover, and it's Mashieki going in and laying it up and in. Iran take the lead. If Japan beat Qatar or the Philippines lose to Kazakhstan, that would also punch Iran's ticket. Foul has been called. Some exciting stuff all over the world today as teams trying to take those last 10 places for the World Cup. Really exciting stuff. And a lot of it is happening here in Asia. Isaac Humphries was long. It's Creek. Gets it back inside, but has it taken away by Mashieki. Mashieki goes right down the lane, but missed the layup. Nevertheless, Iran will keep possession. Cape Horn. Terrific play caller over there. He's coached a lot of these guys in the Australian youth teams, and now he's given the chance to call the shots here for the senior team. Pass down low, and Hassanzadeh misses. And the hustle, the ball thrown into the hands of Isaac Humphries. Wilson, the three-pointer is good for Tom Wilson. Player who really, in my opinion, likes the big games, Tom Wilson. And this is a big opportunity for him. Three-pointer is good for Iran's Jamshidi. Mohammad Jamshidi. And the miss for Australia's Emmett Nar, and another possession for Iran. So Mashieki is going to try to inbound it to Benim Yakchali, but he might have to get the ball over to Jamshidi. No, he gives it to Yakchali. Sanzadi hands it off again to Yakchali. Mo Jamshidi. Mirzai. And Matang gets the rebound. Humphries. A little wraparound pass. Mashieki pulls up at the line, is short. And Minar with the rebound. Minar fakes the pass. Now he gives the bounce pass inside. But Mitch Creek wasn't able to score with the reverse layup. Jack Challey goes baseline. So Adam Caporn calls timeout, and Iran head over to the bench. Look at this. Just did keep his right foot in bounds. You're not supposed to give up the baseline like that if you're Emmett Nar. Got to seal it.
Bring it down the left side. Big guy, dribble over, hit him. Get the short action.
And got to be strong with the ball too. This is motion, and just assume it's rubbed short. So let's get the first guy. So screener, right? Let's go to ice this side. First guy over hard. Throw back. Got that. Sprint. Hard roll. Play behind. Freaky, let's get you over first.
It's really interesting, this setup. Jordan, Lebanon, Iran, Philippines, Japan, all with chances to qualify. I would say I would be very surprised if Japan do not qualify. I would be surprised if the Philippines didn't, but at the end of the day, these games have to be played. They're all being played right now, and it's white knuckle time for all of these teams. It's been a very long qualifying campaign, and here they are this final day, and I'm sure Australia glad they've clinched their place a long time ago. So they don't have to deal with this pressure, although it is a lot of fun. Oh, and Isaac Humphreys just went right around Hassanzadeh for a layup. Boy, Humphreys has got big time written all over him, doesn't he? Mirzai goes right at him, turns, and gets blocked, but a foul called on Humphreys. Mirzai makes the first one. Misses the second, however, Hassanzadeh gets the rebound. And that time it was Jamshidi missing it. And Australia running quickly, but turned it over. Lucas Walker also in the game now, number 25. And along with Weeks, number 43. Mirzai right at the charity stripe. Creek for three. Ball batted into the hands of Mashieki. Bounce pass, backdoor, and Iran perhaps capitalizing on some of the inexperience in this Australia team, lead at 12-5. And another steal going in. Australia hustle back, but Weeks commits the foul and puts Yakchali on the line. Harry Froling comes in. And also checking in for Australia, number 48. As you look at the replay, Tim Conrad. Second one is good as well. And putting it up softly was Lucas Walker. And he gets fouled as well. So nice play for Walker. Well, he does not convert the three-point play. And Jamshidi with the bounce pass, and Mirzai goes up for the layup. 9-point lead now. And the ball passed out of bounds. So it'll be Iran basketball once again. Yakchali gets it over to Jamshidi. They know that he's a shooter, as is Yakchali. So they're chasing him. They don't want to give away any open jump shots to those guys. So they go inside to the big Mirzai, and he has his way again, this time attacking Harry Froling. Actually, it was good defense from Froling. It was just a nice finish from Mason Mirzai. Froling, good! Jamshidi hands it off to Mirzai, who's been playing excellent. Banks in another one with the left hand. Six points, the advantage. 20 to 10, and the three-pointer is good. I was going to say 6 points the advantage for Lebanon. Their game against Korea now is 18 to 14. Close games all the way around. New Zealand 3 up on Jordan. 6 points the advantage for Philippines on Kazakhstan. And Japan up 5 on Qatar. It's all very exciting. It's all happening right now. The drive, and ball goes out of bounds. And it goes back over to Australia. Weeks picks it up, and Froling gets inside, turns, misses. Well, this is going well so far for Iran. Up 7. They will know this Australia team was convincing winners the other day. There's Yakchali, mid-range jumper. He's got 6. Hassanzadeh has it, back to the basket, over to Yakchali. Another one is good. Benim Yakchali starting well, 9 points. Conrad brought a little bit of rain, but the ball rattled out. That's Yakchali over to Jamshidi. Into the corner. Twisting shot by Mitch Creek, and he's fouled while in flight. That was Naveed Niktash who threw up that air ball at the other end. He was a member of that Iranian team that reached the final of the FIBA Asia Cup back in 2017. So no Iranians at the line right now for the first one. And Creek makes it. Creek was in that Asia Cup team that just rolled to the title. So cuts that deficit back to 11. And now gets it back to a 10-point deficit. And that's it at the end of the quarter. Well, it's going well for Iran. They've poured 25 points in. And remember, if they win, they know that they will qualify for the World Cup. Well, as we look at the teams in the huddles, okay, we'll talk about the game stats. It's Iran shooting 57% inside the arc, 8 of 14. They've also got a couple of threes, a few three-pointers for Australia, but their shooting percentages So here's some of the highlights. And Chali's come out well, Jamshidi and Mirzai for Iran. And I guess there's no substitute for experience at this level. And these guys have played a lot of games together. And that was pretty evident in that first quarter. But I think a little bit of confusion with Australia defensively. And we'll see if they can pick things up here in the second quarter. Russia appeared to be on their way to beating Finland. They've broken open what has been a close game. The Finns had led pretty much the entire time, but the Russians have gone up by 11 with 34 seconds left. Also, New Zealand up on Jordan by 3. Lebanon leading Korea by 8. Philippines up on Kazakhstan, but only by 1. And Japan are on top of Qatar 23-8, so that also is good news for Iran. Another miss in the game now for Australia. Tom Wilson, Emmett Nar, Bangkok Matang, Isaac Humphreys, and Mitch Creek. And Shitty, another one. Wilson. And boy, this is so many people being blooded really for Australia in the senior team on this tour. And I think that clearly that experience level showing right now. Oh, look at that pass. They're just surgically taking them apart. The Australians trailing by 14 points.
When he snakes, Mango, you don't have him. You've got the pocket pass rim. Keep chasing. Let's get him left. Best we can. Sometimes we are such fun. We won the blitz. We can't run. Let's go Tommy. Offensively. We're trying to go punch. Let's get ice. Run ahead. Punch screen. Okay. Mango dive. Ice pop. Okay. As that happens, Creaky, I want you to slice right in here. Maybe Creaky's open. Right. Tommy left. Ice. We go to ice. Ice through to Tommy. Side on ball. Okay. Creaky through to the corner. Okay. Side on ball and roll. Humphries. Back in Mango. Cam.
Enough. بعد از اسکرین دوم میتونی اشتباه میکنی.
So again, folks, Iran trying to qualify for the World Cup, and if they beat Australia, or if Japan beat Qatar, or if the Philippines lose to Kazakhstan, that will punch their ticket. Mitch Creek comes right out and scores down low. See if that triggers a run for the Australians. This is where they've had problems on this end. Iran have been getting some really good looks, some really good shots. Yekchali pulls up from deep, and that ball rimmed out. Isaac Humphries. Creek gets the rebound, takes it back out. Nar inside to Matang. Four on the shot clock. Tom Wilson has to launch one. Pass to Yekchali, now to Mirzai. And fouled by Isaac Humphries. A little cheap one, a reach. Coming in for Iran now, number 20. Michael Rostampur. And now on the baseline, Yekchali misses, but Mason Mirzai gets the rebound. Oh, the hand-all, beautiful pass, but Mirzai doesn't make the shot. Miktash hustles and gets the possession back. You can tell he wants to play at the World Cup. One behind his back was Yekchali. Rustenpour bearing down on Harry Froling, but Australia get the rebound. Boy, Froling is a big man, isn't he? He's really bulked up since his under 17 days. Here he is shooting it from deep. In fact, all these guys from Australia have grown up. Doesn't seem like it was that long ago, but I guess 2014 was the under 17 World Cup. Mason Mirzai misses everything. Weeks back in, he inbounds the ball. Excuse me, Weeks Froling. So 43 weeks. 25 is Lucas Walker. Tim Conrad, number 48. And Harry Froling, number 26. For Australia. Creek is going to inbound it. Australia still down 12, but they've slowed Iran down a little bit, held them to just 4 points so far in this quarter. Quick pass, and the putback is good by Froling. Mashieki, Conrad with the rebound. Over to Creek. Another pass into the corner. And the ball goes out of bounds. Back over to Iran. Games are 40 minutes long. Sometimes they go to overtime. You've got to, teams will get up on top of other teams. Finland led big against Russia in the first quarter today, but Russia came back. Then Finland went up again by double digits. Russia came back and won. So you just have to keep playing the game, and you can't draw any comfort if you're scoreboard watching for these other teams. Iran know that they need to take care of business here. If they can win this game, they know they will be at the World Cup. End of story. That said, if they lose, they still have their possibilities. The drive and the follow. Creek now, open floor. Australia down 10. Good hands from Iran. Now Jamshidi passes it back outside. And Mashieki. Eight steals for Iran in this game, none for Australia. That is bizarre. That is not your typical stat in a game between these two teams. Rostanpour gets the rebound back, gives it to Hassanzadeh, and he's going to go to the line for a three-point play. Creek has it. Froling. His pass intercepted by Nick Tash. And Conrad collides with Rostanpour. Watch this. Well, that was more with Rostanpour stopping at full gate. And then stopping right in front of Conrad. Now the interception, the steal, going in for the layup. Great play by Weeks. Back to a 10-point game now. Mashieki turns in the lane, misses. Oh, he had the shot. Froling hands it off to Weeks. Froling shoots it well for a big. You got to keep an eye on him. Here's Creek. He's going to launch one. Under 4 minutes to go in the first half. So far, so good for Iran. They lead it by 10. They want to win to clinch their spot in the World Cup, to be sure of it. Mashieki, bounce pass, Hassanzadeh. Pass goes back outside to Niktash. That's what he's known for. And that's what he does. He's got his feet set. This Iranian team is supremely focused right now. 13 points, the lead. Not something we're used to seeing with Australia against any team in Asia. Probably with the exception of Japan. The only team to beat them in the qualifiers. Mar misses, and Niktash with the rebound. Yakchali for three. Nope. And Rustampour battling for the offensive rebound, and Humphreys comes away with it. Walker, little Euro step, and draws the foul. So Iran have decided to call timeout.
We go this. Bushman bad as in. You stay here. You stay here. You here. Right? متوجه میشین؟ بهنام اینجاست. بهنام اینجاست. سجاد اینجاست. You set the screen. You never in front. Okay? No problem. Pass. Behnaam, pass.
See Mirzai with 11 points. 5 rebounds as well. Michael Rustampour, well, look at the leaders. Froling with 5 points. Isaac Humphreys has 4. And Weeks with 3 assists and 1 steal. So Michael Rustampour, who's playing for Iran now, is actually American-born, but he's an Iranian American, and he got the call. He's been actually playing in Slovakia with Prievidza, and well, here he is getting his big chance to play for the national team. Played college basketball for Omaha in 2015. He's now on the low block. So Walker makes the first one. And the second. Chally spins, gets across midcourt. 2:45 remaining in the game. In the first half. The drive from Niktash, but it was blocked right when he was about to slam the ball home. And what a play. Conrad answers at the other end with a 3-pointer. So a 5-point swing. It was Matang who blocked the shot of Niktash. Here he is again, getting blocked and stays with it, puts it in. Perseverance pays off. playing with a lot of emotion today, Niktash. So 5 points for him. Yakchali goes out. Masayeki goes out. And he completes the three-point play. Now into the corner, Conrad doesn't make it two in a row. Mason Mirzai with the rebound. He had Matang right on his back. Yakchali, another jump shot. What a great first half he's had. Benim Yakchali, 11 points. He and Mirzai each leading the team in scoring. Each with 11. Now Humphreys. As Australia again face a 13-point deficit. Oh, just silky smooth, isn't he? Yakchali, another three. No, that was short. Nar bringing it up the floor. Now Tom Wilson. Nar again with the board. They pass it to Humphreys. This time he was short. Jamshidi pulls up right behind the line. It's good. Back to 13 points. The advantage. Humphreys, who played some college basketball 2 seasons at Kentucky. And Matang also played in the state of Kentucky for Louisville. For Rick Pitino, here he is from 2013 to 2017, and he is going to go to the line. Timeout has been called here with 15 seconds to go. Actually, speaking of interesting players, actually spent 2017, 2018 going back and forth between the Charlotte Hornets and the Greensboro Swarm. Now in Italy with Vanoli Cremona. It's nice to see these Australians getting their chance today. Here's Mirzai with 11 points, Yakchali 11, Jamshidi 9, and Niktash has provided a real spark, both with his scoring and his emotion. He's got 6 points.
That's it. Mango, your hands in protecting the basket. We get it. Obviously, we're going. All right? We're switching pick and rolls with you four. You're mushing as normal. Yes. Here we go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Move.
So here he is, Matang, plays professionally in Italy with Cremona, who are third in the standings, makes the first one. Averages 10 points per game and 9.7 rebounds, so he's a handful. And sinks both free throws. Niktash, back to Yakchali. Wisdompour still in the game as well, number 20. Here's Big Chally, puts it up at the line and gets a foul called on Weeks. Right now, somewhat of a mild upset in the making, even though Kazakhstan won the first game at the Philippines. That surprised everybody. They were blown out in their last game by Australia, but here they are now winning against the Philippines 39-36. Japan up 17 on Qatar. That's no surprise. Meanwhile, Iran doing a great job so far here in the first half, and Jamshidi makes both. So the heave right at the buzzer, and that's how it finishes. It's 42-30 at halftime, Iran. In their pursuit of a World Cup berth. So far, so good for Team Melli. 43-30, Iran on top of Australia at halftime. 43-30, Iran on top of Australia at halftime here in this final Asian qualifier for the World Cup. For both teams, Australia already in the World Cup, and Iran trying to join them. Iran, remember, played Australia back in the FIBA Asia Cup final of 2017, and it was a good game. Australia ended up opening it up a big lead in the second half and rolling to a big win and going unbeaten through that tournament. And they've been terrific ever since in the Asian qualifiers, losing just once to Japan, and that was a tight game as well. So they don't want to suffer a second defeat, but at the same time, perhaps some faces missing from some of the other teams in the qualifiers, and you've got a lot of hugely talented young players who are kind of learning on the fly, so to speak, at this level against an Iranian team that, well, a lot of these guys have got a lot of national team games under their belt with the senior team. Adam Caporn coaching, Harry Froling there, Tom Wilson, Matang standing up, Mitch Creek obviously has a lot of experience. He was kind of in that, Mitch Creek, in that new wave of Australian teams that went to the FIBA Asia Cup and then carried that over into the qualifiers. Mitch Creek, because he's playing overseas in the NBA now and the G League with Brooklyn, doesn't have as many games as he might have expected in the qualifiers. He came into this one with 5 games, 5 appearances in the qualifiers. But for the example, we don't have Kadi here, Nicholas Kay, Mitch McCarron, Sobey, Cam Glidden, Matthew Hodgson, Angus Brandt. But nevertheless, this is a very a good Australian unit and a very talented one. Interesting to see if they're going to be able to turn this around in the second half. Iran, they win, they qualify for the World Cup. If they lose and Japan beat Qatar, they will still qualify, or they will qualify if Philippines lose to Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan, I think, have a small lead right now. No, they're now trailing the Philippines by 5 at halftime. Well, welcome back, folks. If you've been to the kitchen or been out to walk the dog, so to speak, second half action underway, and already foul called on Mesa Mirzai. Block. Illegal screen. I think he was moving. Harry Froling has it. Starts the second half with Creek, Nar, Tom Wilson, and then Matang. Here he is. Goes up, and great defense from Mirzai. Mashieki scores with a reverse layup. He was in that Asia Cup team that took on the Australians. Harry Froling, oh, that was a alley-oop pass that Matang couldn't quite get to. Now Mashieki, they swing it. Benny McChaley feet set, bends, puts it up, and short, but Mirzai with the rebound. Now Yakchali puts up another attempt. Mitch Creek crosses midcourt, gets it to Matang, goes up, takes the bump, and scores. Good hustle. Actually born in Sudan, but grew up in Australia. Mashieki misses, and Froling grabs the rebound. Now Tom Wilson gets in the lane, back outside to Froling. Wilson open. It was going down and then popped out. coming back, Australia. And Matang crashing the offensive boards. Pass intercepted. Weeks looks in, brings it back out. Now Nar to the corner, over to Creek. Creek hits the three. And finally, a soft little jump shot made right inside the line from Yekchali, who goes to 13 points. Froling trying to pass it to Matang. Could have shot it. Yekchali again takes it from the same spot, this time misses. Now the pass over to Creek on the other corner, and Matang with the rebound. Then has it knocked out of his hands by Masayeki. And another basket for Iran. Yekchali with 15 points, and it's a 14-point lead. Froling. Mirzai going right at Froling, puts it up, and Walker with the rebound. Nar passes inside to Creek, who brings it back out. Now it goes back in the lane. Isaac Humphries back in for Australia. Creek has 7 points to lead the scoring for Australia. Here's Creek. Over to Conrad. Another three-pointer for him. That is his second. And sorry, folks, we went away from the action, but Hassanzadeh has scored for Iran to get it right back. Humphries, beautiful give and go with Humphries, but Creek missed a layup. Now Yekchali. Outside to Masayeki, and then he decides to take his time. Rustenpour. Well, and he's called for the foul going up on Humphries. Well, you think about the possibilities with Australia, you know certain players will be at the World Cup, like Joe Ingles, like Patty Mills. We'll have several NBA players there and Aaron Baines. But what you wonder is who else will join them at the 32-team FIBA Basketball World Cup extravaganza. I think Creek and this unit would probably have a good chance of making that team. Now the foul has been called. So Weeks will go to the line. We put Weeks and Walker side by side, and they are very similar because they're wearing those beards and dark hair, although Walker's taller. Weeks makes the first one. And the second one is good as well. Well, I think Iranian fans will be breathing a sigh of relief right now. They pretty much know they're going to make it if things remain as they are, with Japan now leading 59-30 on Qatar, at Qatar. Pass into the corner. And the bounce pass. Hassanzadeh unsuccessful, but Iran get it back and now take some more time off. And Niktash drives, or Hassanzadeh scores with a rolling right-handed shot. 6 points for him. Weeks for three, long. Now Yakchali, bounce pass. Oh, what a play from Matsuyeki. He floated through the air, put the ball in his left hand and banked it in. Watch this. Tough call on Australia because it looked like Weeks was in good defensive position and had his hand straight up. But nevertheless, this Australia team is in a hole right now. So they've called timeout, trailing 55-40.
Stay the obvious, just D-trans and rebounding, right? Over up to that bottle, stay with it. Line out, Mango, you got Waxy here. Let's go, rebound. Okay. D-trans, you two have got to be back on shots. Okay, and you're not plugging your back every time. Sorry, going back every time. You sort of get the shot out, you know.
Eight rebounds for Mirzai, 5 for Hassanzadeh, leading the way for Iran. Also getting a contribution from Rostanpour and Niktash in that department, 3 apiece. I tell you, look at Iran and you look at all of their games and how it's been a roller coaster ride for them. They began with an 8-point defeat back in the first round to Iraq, and that was played in Amman. Of course, then they rebounded from that and won six games in a row before falling in September at Japan by 14. But after, that last window was costly for them because they lost at Australia decisively. They did win against the Philippines, but then they've begun this final window with a loss to Japan. So they came into this needing to win to be assured of punching their ticket to the World Cup. Natang goes up, and you're going to count it. I don't even know if that had a chance to go in. Might have been better just to let it go. But goal interference was the call. on Arman Zangeni, number 19. Jamshidi, another jump shot. And with 12 minutes and 50 seconds remaining, this Iranian team is looking good bets to be in China. Noor, though, answers with a 3. Yakchali right at the line, drills it. Well, he's showing all of his experience today, isn't he? 17 points for Benim Yakchali. Isaac Humphries stops and called for the travel. Tom Wilson back in the game. Australia's going to fight. They won't roll over. They'll battle this Iranian team to the end, but right now it's a 15-point deficit that they face. And Jamshidi drives in. Now Australia quickly with Weeks. And Weeks attacking, earns a trip to the free throw line. Weeks plays for the New Zealand Breakers, 29 years of age. And this is the first. Big opportunity for him to be in this team. Second one is good. Played 13 minutes against Kazakhstan the other day, had 6 points. And he's getting some more minutes today. Already has played 16, almost 16 and a half minutes. The big prize is a place at the World Cup. Australia know they're going to be there, and the question is, will they be joined by this team, Iran? And the drive and the pass it outside. Three-point attempt. Oh, rims out for Arman Zangeni. Noor inside. Wilson from the left. It's good. Tom Wilson. McChally drives. Basket is good. Jamshidi. Look at him cut inside there, guarded by Humphries. Harry Froling now coming back into the game. In the books of the Adelaide 36ers, just 20 years of age. Basket's good. Played a couple years at SMU. College basketball. Here's Humphries, dumps it, and Creek went up for the dunk. Was blocked. And he was fouled. So Weeks comes back into the game and replaces Humphreys. .53 seconds to go in the third quarter. Andres Lamanis, no doubt, watching this back home. He'll be at the helm when they go to the World Cup. And Crete makes the first one. Well short on the second one. And now you've got back in the NBL, you've got the playoffs, and that's why so many players aren't here for this game right now. But with Australia having qualified, they were eager to see some of these other young talents that they've got. Jamshidi for three. Nard, the rebound. Froling spins, puts it up. There for the follow was Mitch Creek. Ball goes out of bounds, and foul's called, so Yakchali, Iran not in the bonus yet. Timeout on the floor, and as the teams retreat to their benches, and Australia have yet to make the noticeable progress getting into this lead of Iran.
جمشیدی از بیرون میندازه. گوش بدید. جمشیدی از بیرون میندازه. گوش بدید. جمشیدی از بیرون میندازه. اینجا حسن پیک میده به سجاد. من حسن شما پیک میدی به سجاد، میاد اینجا. ببین اول بهنا میره برای تو، پیکو بهش میدی میاد اینجا. فوری بهش بده. اگر نشد پیکو به آرمان میده میاد میده. تا اینجا پیک میده میاد اینجا. گوش بدید دوباره. من بهنام شما سجاد اسکرین.
Normal rules, touch to the beat, force the guards to creaky, okay? We go with that, and we got a rebound. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Come on, chip away, chip away.
Final seconds ticking off the clock. Here in the third quarter, Yakchali launches one from three and misses, so it's an 11-point lead at the end of three quarters here for Iran. (63-52), Iran on top of Australia after three.
FIBA Basketball World Cup is right here. Want it? Come and get it.
Well, Humphreys pretty much had his way in the game the other day with 17 points, 7 rebounds, but hasn't really made as much of an impact today for Australia. Australia 9 of 22 inside the arc. Now they're at 8 of 22, so that percentage is getting better. You get the feeling that if this thing is going to turn around for them, they're going to really have to turn it up defensively full court to try to get some points off their defense, but maybe they'll just continue with the same approach. Might run a half-court trap. I don't know. But so far, Iran seems to have been handling what Australia have thrown their way. Andrej Lemanis was with the team when they were playing in Kazakhstan. And, but, you know, he's also the coach of the Brisbane Bullets. And it was felt really in everybody's best interest, but especially the Bullets and Lemanis, that he get back to get ready for the playoffs, for ahead of the final game of the World Cup qualifiers. So he's missing this one, but you know, he sees it as a huge opportunity for Cape Horn to be able to coach at senior level as the head coach. He's been his assistant, one of his assistants. Here's Wilson, and chasing it down into the corner was Jamshidi. But Lemanis has to get focused with the Bullets getting ready for their NBL semifinal series. It's coming up. They'll be playing the Perth Wildcats. Everybody knows NBL is on a high right now. It's a great league. Now driving in and banking it in is Armin Zangane. 13 points again, the lead. In the corner, Nar misses, and Hassanzadeh with the rebound. Jordan right now on top of New Zealand by 9. Lebanon trailing Korea by 3, so it's not looking good now for Lebanon, although there's a long way to go in that Jordan game. Midway through the third quarter, whereas Lebanon are trailing by 3 now, 3 minutes into the fourth. Japan are winning 82-42 over Qatar. Creek fouled as he gets it down low. So you look at these Australian players, though. I mean, these young guys. This is Creek. So much talent. And Matthew Yang today, Isaac Humphreys, Harry Froling. I mean, this Boomers program is in a very good place right now. They're going to have some selection headaches for the foreseeable future. So many good players to choose from. These guys are losing today, which suggests they're not quite ready. But this experience is good, and they still have time to turn this one around. So down 12. Wouldn't that be a famous comeback on the road in Tehran if they were able to do that? Yakchali. Mason Mirzai and Nar able to get his hands up. Ball goes out of bounds. Ball inbound to Yakchali. He's going to have to put it up. Mirzai does just in time, but misses. Three-point attempt from Weeks is off. Foul called on Harry Froling on the box out. Ashieki with a little floater, stays out. Another chance for the Boomers. Here comes Wilson. Skip pass over to Weeks. Wilson to Creek. Conrad misses, and Humphreys rebounds it. 7-11 to go. Now Humphrey spins, puts it up. Oh, that was big time move. Nice spinning shot, great footwork. And the foul called on Australia's Conrad. Charlie has it, puts it up, good! #19 from Nyek Charlie. Creek gets two of them back. Niktash hands it off to Jamshidi. Hands it off. Mirzai. Conrad with the rebound. 4 minutes into the final quarter. 4 fouls now on Iran in the quarter. Weeks back in. And so Rustampur comes back in for Iran. Sorry, Emmett Nar back in. There's Weeks. Goes off 1 foot. Missing Mirzai with the rebound. Mashieki rattles it in. Back to a 12-point lead for Iran. We're going to see him pick up full court now with midway through the fourth quarter. Let's listen in to Coach Caporn.
We're going to run up against the zone. Okay, we're just going to throw it, bring it down, throw it to Creaky here. Creaky bust over, draw the attention of this guard. Right? Weeks, you bring it up. Emmett Nah, just flare Timmy Conrad and slip it.
سجاد توپو میاره. توپو سجاد میاره کنار یه دونه حمله ادامه دار. یه فلاپ سریع میریم. مایک اینجا توپو گرفت میتونی sometimes you can play one-on-one. Okay, but we need more passing. More passing. In defense, move too much.
13-19 for Yakchali. The outstanding performance today for this Iranian team. So here go the Boomers again. Conrad. This is from the corner, and there for the rebound. All strip for Iran was Rostanpour. Mashieki gets in the paint. Rostanpour thought about launching it. Now he has to get on the ground to get the ball back. He does. Jamshidi launches one. And Niktash sneaks in there and gets the rebound. Then he makes the pass to Jamshidi, who gives the pump fake. Foul was called. Wilson comes back in. First one is good for Jamshidi. So with 4:46 remaining, a 13-point lead for Iran. 14 points, the advantage. Actually, it's going to be tough for the Aussies to come back from this. Just on today's evidence. Humphreys turns. Krieg flies in for the rebound. Here's Humphreys again. Niktash over to Jamshidi. Clock starting to become the enemy of Australia every bit as much as Iran now. Just haven't really been able to get a run together, the Australians, to get back into it. Jamshidi makes the first one, and now it's a 15-point advantage. So Jamshidi and I think Yakchali each with 19 points. Niktash, offensive rebound, got it to Rostanpour, but he was in the backcourt, then he came over. Leonard smacking the pass and the ball slipped out of his hands. Here's Creek. And Leonard. Creek again. This time gets it to go. Back to 12, but Australia do not set up a press. Mirzai, 10 on the shot clock. Bulls his way in. Oh, soft release, scoring over Isaac Humphries. Mirzai with 13 points and 9 rebounds. This is impressive.
Once it goes through, you're back every time. You guys are staying up. We want to go a hit 30 every time. So let's just find spots. You two stay way up, okay? You guys press back here. It's kind of like a 2-2-1. Someone take the ball, get some pressure on the ball. Come.
A little bit of foul trouble there for the Australians. Humphries, Weeks, and Conrad, each with 4.
Yep.
So you got Charlie and Jamshidi leading the way in scoring. Mirzai with 13. But Masayeki has been important as well today. He's got 9. Also 3 rebounds and an assist and 3 steals. So play resumes. Clock is the enemy for Australia. They got to get some points. Wilson launches one, gets 3. Putting on the full court pressure now, and they are going to get the steal. Here comes Creek, hands it off. Nard passes back out to Wilson. Good! Back to back for Wilson. Game on. 74-66. Boy, just like that, a very comfortable lead becomes a slightly uneasy lead for Iran. There you have it. Chali, 19 points, both he and Jamshidi. And Mirzai with the 9 rebounds is leading that. But it was interesting, Australia punished Iran right after the steal.
I don't have a timeout, but I can sub it. We go quicks again. Try and get Tommy. As soon as you don't get Tommy, hold up. Get Emmett, okay? And then, yep.
Look, hey, let's jump in here and they're flat. I'll set it and I'll slip.
Yep.
Okay? I'll set it first. He's going to get the shot. If not,
Together,
I'll
1, 2, 3.
Iran get it across the midcourt. Now it's under 3 minutes to go. Mirzai has it. He fumbles it. Passes it back out to Yekchali. Weeks hounding the guards now. Shot clock about to expire. Jamshidi. Good! Well, that could not have gone any better with almost all 24 seconds going off the clock from the shot clock. But Wilson, 3 in a row! I told you, folks, he's got the big game mentality when it gets hot. 15 for Wilson. Quick pass. The layup is good. Armin Zangane now with 4 points. And here's Wilson. Again, will it be 4 in a row? Nope. And this time the rebound is Jamshidi. Still not home and dry yet. It's a 9-point lead. Mashieki wide open. Mirzai with the rebound. He's going to go back up. So Mirzai is fouled, and he will go to the line. Mason Mirzai makes the first one. Seen some wild things, some wild finishes in these World Cup qualifiers all over the place. So don't write off Australia just yet. They've got to go. It's go time. Here come the Boomers. Weeks. Trolling sets a screen. He goes over to Creek. And then a good reach. Nope, a foul has been called on Zanganeh, so free throws are coming for Creek. Clock stops. Australia at the line today, 11 of 15. That's acceptable, 73%. And Creek is 4 of 6, so he hasn't been a sure thing. See how he does on this occasion. 16 points for Creek is leading Australia, and he gets that to go. Sure enough, gets it up there softly, and it falls through the hoop. We're back to an 8-point deficit now. 1:24 to go, and Iran are going to have to beat this press. Well, Iran look like they're ready for it, but it's one thing to be ready and in position, and you still have to make some reactions here. Well, here it comes. Nope, they get it, and a foul is called. So not much time goes off the clock. Not a bad option to have at the line. Jamshidi for Iran. Came in shooting 92.9% on the season, or in the qualifiers. Makes both. He's been very good today. He's now 8 of 9 at the line. And Creek fouled as he was trying to make the handoff. So 2 more free throws coming for Mitch Creek. Japan have won resoundingly at Qatar, 96-48. And the first free throw. In fact, I thought it was Creek that was fouled. It was Wilson. The man that hit 3 threes in a row just a couple minutes ago. This is his first free throw. A 3-possession game now, down 9. And Tom Wilson comes up and fouls Jamshidi again with 1:01 remaining. Well, it's nice to be able to get the ball into the hands of somebody who's almost automatic at the charity stripe, like Mo Jamshidi. Now both are good. Australia have to hurry. Creek over to Weeks. He flies in. And now the ball with Jamshidi. And he passes up to Yakchali, who is fouled by Froling. So with an 11-point lead, Australia might be able to all but ice it if they can make 2 free throws here with Benim Yakchali. Lebanon have lost 84-72. So Jordan have qualified for the World Cup with that result. Congratulations to them. So Yakchali goes to 21. And now 2 free throws coming for Creek. That's not a good play for Iran. Rustenpour. I mean, what in the world are you doing? You don't want to stop the clock, put them on the line. Creek goes to the line, makes both free throws. They can set up their press. Creek makes the first one. Second one is good as well. Well, just got word confirmation that definitely Iran have already qualified for the World Cup because of the other results. But they've also they're also going to take care of their own business today. 3-point attempt. No good. Tom Wilson rebounds it. They're Froling over to the corner. And Rustenpour with the rebound. So a great performance by Iran when they needed it most against the powerhouse of Asia, albeit an inexperienced unit here. This Australian team played hard. They got 1 of 2 wins on the tour, but it's Iran that have won, and they have assured themselves a spot in the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China. 85-74, Iran win it over Australia. Well, we're getting accustomed to seeing this Iran team at FIBA Basketball World Cups. Here we have the numbers. Iran, in the end, didn't shoot it particularly great from deep, but 44 rebounds, 45. Just let you digest those numbers. Seems like Iran did shoot it a lot better. They hit a lot of jump shots. They just weren't of the 3-point variety, just 3 of 18. Australia, meanwhile, were 12 of 33 from deep, including Tom Wilson, 5 of 11. Jamshidi with 25 points in the end, led all scores, 20 points for Creek. And Mathing was good, had the defensive stats there. Jamshidi, Yakchali, Mirzai leading the scores for Iran. Wilson finished with 16 points, 8 for Weeks. Well, that's what you look like when you know you've just clinched a spot in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. We saw Iran play at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in 2010. We saw them play, it was in Istanbul. We saw them play at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in Spain in 2014, and now we're going to see them play at the FIBA Basketball World Cup in China this year. Australia, of course, they've been regulars at the World Cups over the years. They missed it in 2002 after falling to New Zealand in the previous years, or in that qualifying tournament, the FIBA Oceania Championship, as it was then being staged. But ever since then, they've been making it, and they will be one of the favorites, no doubt, I think, to get to the podium. They will go back and reload and get ready for the tournament, which is promising to be special. 32 teams from around the world. But these are the shots from the Iran fans and the players giving their appreciation to their fans. It's all about national pride. And even though there were a lot of different players involved from last year's Asia Cup final, or 2017 Asia Cup final, you know, that probably in the back of their minds was a little bit of getting a little bit of revenge for that one. But again, you know, a whole different cast of characters here today. Yeah, Chali was at the Asia Cup, as was Jamshidi, Mirzai, a lot of those guys, but this just has a new Iran team feel to it. Well, interesting that Arghaven only played 38 seconds today. I don't know why. Maybe there wasn't a good matchup, or maybe he picked up an injury that we weren't familiar with. So, qualified for the World Cup, Australia, Japan, Iran, and also the Philippines have qualified. And I think that would have been the four that you would have predicted from Group F. So the best fourth place team ends up being Philippines. They eked their way in at 7-5. So 85-74, Iran win it over Australia here in the Azadi Gym in Tehran. Here's some of the highlights. Well, once this Iran team got on top, they were just they just looked too comfortable, like they were not being, you know, Australia just were not being disruptive enough defensively, and Iran pretty much doing what they wanted to do, and just really the Australians not as efficient as they normally would be, perhaps, when they had the ball. But that comes with bringing a lot of new faces into the team. And I'm sure this has been a good experience for all of them. And, you know, don't forget, Mitch Creek probably has a great chance of making that roster for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. He was arguably, I mean, it's incredible when you look back at it and think that there were no Australians that made the All-Star 5 at the FIBA Asian Cup in 2017 after they blew out all their opponents. But it was such a well-balanced and good team that I think probably the journalists had a hard time figuring out who was the best player in that team. But I think Creek possibly, if you look back at it, was the best player in that team. He comes back today and led the team in scoring. Obviously, it wasn't enough, but he had 20 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And actually ended up being the player with the highest efficiency out of everybody. So as you look at the highlights, I'll go ahead and tell you also that in the other group, Jordan have also qualified by virtue of Lebanon's defeat. And right now they are in a real struggle with New Zealand. So that one could also end up going to the wire. How good would these teams be for the World Cup? We'll just have to wait and see. I know the Australians are going to be tough, and don't expect Iran to show up with a bad team either. Thanks for watching, everybody.